No, no, definitely not. Heather, how many folks are we looking for? Is there,
We're
do
good to
we have,
go. We're good to go.
we're good to go, so we've got a
Yeah.
quorum.
Yeah.
All right, well, I've got 6:01. I'm going to call this meeting to order. And I would like to acknowledge that while many folks are in different parts of both the world and Vancouver Island, our work is primarily focused on the traditional lands, territories of the Hawaiian Nation, and we're grateful for them sharing these beautiful and bountiful lands with us. I'd like to mention that these meetings are being recorded and live streamed to YouTube on the regional district website. And I don't know that we need to do introductions. I think everyone absolutely knows everyone on the screen. So if that's all right, we'll move to item number 2, approval of the agenda. And unless there's something that needs to be added by staff or by committee member, could I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Lisa, seconded by John. Comments? All in favor? Motion passed. Item 3, declarations. Any conflicts of interest? Seeing none, we'll move on to minutes. Item number 4, the minutes from the Bamfield Area Services Committee meeting held October 7th, 2025. And I'm looking for someone to make the motion that the minutes of the Bamfield Area Services Committee meeting held on October 7th, 2025 be adopted. Moved by Lisa and seconded by John Mass. Comments, questions? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor? Motion passed. We have item number 5, no petitions, delegations, or presentations. I should check with Heather, any correspondence for actions or information? Seeing none, item number 7, request for decisions. I don't believe there are any requests for decisions. Item number 8, reports. Item A, the West Bamfield Submarine Line Project, a verbal report by Eddie Kunderman. Turn it over to you, Eddie.
Thank you, Chair. Appreciate that. A quick update on the West Bamfield Submarine Line Placement Project. I think I've been saying that so many times now over the past few years. I'm happy to hopefully I shouldn't say it, not have to say it anymore after the next couple weeks. So the project has continued. Progress has been steady. We're about a week behind the initial schedule, which isn't too bad. The actual new submarine line water main is tied in. It has been commissioned, so it's in place. Water is flowing to the west side. To one property is currently tied in on the west side. The valve is still closed though, up there. So the West Bamfield is still being serviced by the 2-inch Burlow loop for now. There are a couple things to do before that valve is opened. So on the east side where the water line is heading down, they're still trenching that. It's kind of held in place by a couple wooden boards and whatnot. So they will have to lower that. They're waiting on some more bedding and rock crush material to put in for that. Once that line is on the east side, so above the high tide line, once it's put down, we'll tie in the 4 connections on that side to the new line, and then fill it in, and then we can open up the valve on the other side. So the boil water advisory that is in place will likely remain in place for another week. We'll probably do the sampling depending on the progress over the next few days. Do the sampling Monday or Tuesday of next week and take the samples to VHA at that point. That's hopefully what we're looking at. There are still a couple of flange connections underwater that a diver will have to go in and replace. And then the removal of the old line will commence early next week. So the parts of the old line that are on the land portions have been removed, but there's still some underwater portions that they will be taking out. Overall, project's going well. It's I'll share some pictures with the group of some of the night work. It's pretty cool to see them doing some of the concrete pouring over the line at nighttime. Looks pretty cool. So generally on schedule, a week behind. Um, Understand that we want to open up the access to the west side dock as quickly as possible and get it going. So we have flagged that with our construction company, that we want to get that going. They are walking through any residents who want access to the dock or need to get through, so they're helping them through as they're notified and as they come through. So happy to answer any questions about the project, but on schedule, moving through everything.
Thanks, Eddie. Before I turn it over to the rest of the committee, you mentioned you're about a week over what you had expected. Financially, what about any overruns that we may be looking at?
As of where we are right now, we're within budget. We're within what we had set aside at the last meeting. We've only had the one change order come through. That was for the eelgrass offsetting. And so that came through, but it was budgeted. We'll have a couple other change orders come through, but it's not going to be anything significant at this point.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. You hear of so many municipal and regional projects that sometimes are well over budget. So that's a great report. Thank you for that. Any committee members have any questions for Eddie? Sorry, go ahead, John.
No questions. I just applaud you on having it to this point in the manner it is, and a week is on schedule as far as I'm concerned. That's a really tough estimate to do that job with the weather, et cetera, et cetera. That's awesome.
And thank you for that. I think a lot of thanks goes out to the construction company, Fraser Burrard, on site. They're doing a heck of a job. Our engineer, Great Pacific, Brandon Powers with them, is also doing a fantastic job. And then Lake Butler and the team on site are assisting and also have been there and have provided a lot of assistance. So it's definitely a team and community effort, as always, in Bamfield.
Yeah, it's good.
Thanks, John, for those comments. And I think that John, you bring up you remind me that Eddie, I'd really appreciate it if staff on behalf of this committee and the community, when this is all said and done, acknowledge and thank everyone involved, because we, especially elected officials, we often hear the negative stuff all the time, and I think it's important that we continue to emphasize the positive stuff that goes on in our region and in our community. So,
absolutely. And I'll just hop in quickly once more. And thank you for that comment. We will be doing a celebration. We'll get some photos and a press release after the project is completed.
Excellent. Thank you, Eddie, for that. And perhaps, a short presentation to the Bamfield Community Affairs in January. There's no meeting in December, but again, when you talk about the photos, I think other people would like to see what that looks like and what goes into a successfully run project, because again, we need to celebrate those things. So keep that in mind. A short 5-minute presentation with some photos. I love those things, so that would be great. If I could have someone make the motion that the Bamfield Area Services Committee receive the report, please. Moved by Bob Schmidt, not Bob Beckett, and seconded by John Mass. Comments, questions? All in favor? Motion passed with our thanks. Item number 9, late business. We have no late business. Heather, any questions, comments from the public?
Let me just check. Nothing.
Okay. Do we have any indication if oh, hey, Christine, how are you? You're good. So we just went through item number 8A. Eddie did a report on the submarine line installation, and everything's going great. It's a week behind, but that's nothing considering the weather. And I've asked Eddie to do a presentation, potentially to do. Well, I can't confirm it because I have to ask James from the Bamfield Community Affairs if they would put Eddie on the agenda to do a short presentation with photos and everything. I think it would be kind of interesting, and to celebrate the fact that no significant cost overruns and pretty much on schedule. So it's something to yes, something to celebrate. So no late business. I was just going to ask Heather, is there anyone, any public watching, or are you able to tell from your?
I can't tell from where I am, but there's no questions received.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So we will move into in camera, and I'll need a motion to close the meeting to the public as per the community charter, sections I-91J. Information that is prohibited or information that will present if we were presented in a document, we would be prohibited from disclosure under Section 21 of the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. So there's two motions. So do I have to read one motion at a time, or can I read the second one, Heather, as well?
You can read the whole thing.
Perfect. Motion to close the meeting to the public as per the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act sections II-21 1CI of the FOI PPA harm significantly the competitive position or interfere significantly with the negotiating position of the third party. So could I have someone make those motions, please? Moved by John, seconded by Lisa. Any comments, questions? All in favor?